The America's Got Talent stage has seen it all. But nothing could prepare the judges for what was about to happen. 48 children from the Philippines with ages ranging from just 8 to 16 stood shoulder to shoulder, a sea of sky blue barong-inspired costumes. They called themselves the Cebu City Children's Harmonic Choir. These kids weren't just from down the street. They had traveled for 2 long days and during multiple transfers all the way from Cebu City to the UK, driven by a powerful dream. On stage, they were a mix of nerves and excitement, holding hands for courage. One soft-spoken 12-year-old Andrea stepped forward as their spokesperson. With a voice full of hope, she told the judges, "We want to show the world the heart of the Filipino." The sheer size of the group took the judges by surprise. Simon Cowell, usually stoic, leaned forward, his interest clearly piqued. Alicia Dixon offered a warm, encouraging smile, while Amanda Holden looked emotional before they even sang a note. Bruno Tonioli was animated, gesturing with curiosity. As the stage lights dimmed, a hush fell over the massive auditorium. Then it began. A single crystal-clear note from one of the smallest boys in the group pierced the silence. It was pure, perfect, and utterly captivating. One by one, the other voices joined in, weaving a soft, delicate tapestry of sound. Their song choice was "You Raise Me Up." But this was a version unlike any the world had heard before. It was infused with a uniquely Filipino arrangement, building layer upon layer of intricate, breathtaking harmonies. As their voices swelled, something magical happened. The usually bustling audience grew quiet. Backstage, the crew stopped what they were doing. Drawn in by the sound, the judges exchanged looks of genuine astonishment. The choir's blending was so perfect, their synchronization so flawless. It was hard to believe they were individual children and not one single angelic entity. This wasn't just a performance. It was a display of profound musical discipline. The choir then hit a high sustained note, and in that moment the entire theater fell into absolute pin-drop silence. The emotional depth they conveyed was far beyond their ears. Their faces filled with deep feeling told a story of struggle, hope, and unity. The cameras caught tears streaming down Andrea's face as she sang. Backstage, their parents were crying. In the audience, people began to discreetly wipe their eyes. The arrangement continued to build, rising dramatically. Their harmony grew fuller, stronger, and more powerful with every bar. Not a single voice overpowered another. They moved as one. The final note was held in perfect, unshakable unison before fading into a breathtaking silence. For a split second, no one moved. Then the entire audience erupted. They leaped to their feet in a thunderous, instantaneous standing ovation that just wouldn't stop. Amanda was openly weeping, trying to wipe her tears away. Alicia had her hand pressed to her chest, completely moved. Bruno was on his feet, shouting, "Bravo! Bravo!" over and over, but all eyes were on Simon Cowell. He just sat there frozen, his face a mask of disbelief. He paused for a long dramatic moment before finally speaking. That he said, his voice filled with awe, was extraordinary. He told them he had seen world-class choirs, but what they just did was on another level. He praised their perfect balance, their purity of tone, and the incredible emotional story they told without words. "I did not expect that kind of power," Simon admitted. "Your harmonies were unreal." He highlighted their discipline, noting how 48 distinct voices managed to sound like one glorious instrument. He acknowledged the immense sacrifice it took to travel so far with such limited resources. Calling their community effort inspiring, he said that moments like these were incredibly rare on the show. Looking at the tearful, hopeful faces on stage, Simon said something that resonated with everyone. "You reminded me why these shows exist." Suddenly, the audience started chanting, "Golden buzzer, golden booster, golden booster." The kids on stage gasped, looking at each other with wide, hopeful eyes. The judges shared knowing smiles. Simon looked at the choir, then at the audience, and then slowly, deliberately, he reached his hand toward the coveted golden buzzer. The entire theater held its breath. After a heart-topping pause, Simon slammed his hand down. Golden confetti exploded from the ceiling, raining down on the stage. The children's screams of joy and disbelief echoed through the hall. Andrea fell to her knees, overcome with emotion. The kids hugged each other, crying and laughing all at once. Backstage, their parents were screaming with pride. The judges were on their feet, cheering as loudly as the audience. The entire theater was a storm of celebration, bathed in golden light. Simon stood up applauding, a rare soft smile on his face. This wasn't just an audition.